Hey Fueled Up friends, welcome back to my March Madness series. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley. I'm a registered dietitian. That's why my name is Food for Fuel Dietitian. On my channel, I give tips and tricks to live your best, healthiest, most fulfilling life. Which is why in today's video, I want to talk to you. And when I say you, I mean anyone who has struggled with your relationship with food, which is probably everyone, right? I think we all struggle with it from time to time or have in the past. This is for you because I want to take away the idea of calorie counting. As a dietitian, I feel like patients and clients expect me to want them to calorie count, but I am totally against calorie counting. And here's why. I follow an intuitive eating approach. This means you eat until you're full. You listen to your body. You're intuitive with the cues that your body is giving you. However, that's not easy if for years and years of your life, you've pushed off those cues and you've ignored those cues. So it takes a lot of practice to be intuitive with your body and listen to what it's telling you. I always say you want to listen when your body is whispering so that you don't have to hear it scream. So when it comes to trying to lose weight or just getting healthier or improving your relationship with food, intuitive eating is the way to go versus calorie counting. The phrase I want to share with you today, which I think is so important, I can't exactly remember the original source of this quote, but I just want to point out this is not my quote, but I do follow these words. And it is, be a nutrient seeker, not a calorie avoider. I'm gonna say it again. Be a nutrient seeker, not a calorie avoider. So instead of trying to avoid calorie dense foods, let's look for foods that are dense with nutrients. And that is a perfect way to take the emphasis off of restriction and put the emphasis on abundance. It's that abundance mindset. It helps so much with everything in our lives, including the food we eat and the way we eat the food that we eat. As you know, when you're restrictive, all you want to do is eat whatever you're trying to restrict, because that's how our brains work. Because if our brains are focused on, I shouldn't be eating this, even though you're saying you shouldn't be eating that, you're still focused on that. Right? On that food. Maybe it's ice cream for you. If you say, oh, I need to not eat ice cream this month, then all you're going to want to do is eat ice cream because ice cream will be on your mind because you're trying not to eat it. Makes sense, right? So instead, let's focus on what we can eat and what we should be eating. And this actually helps us to eat intuitively anyway. When we eat real, whole, natural foods, it's so much easier to eat intuitively and stop when we're full. When we eat foods that are processed, it becomes really challenging to stop when we're full because it takes us longer to become full when food is so far away from its natural form. It's so much easier to overeat things like chips, ice cream, candy, cookies, because these calories are condensed into such a small form, such a small piece of food that we can eat so much of them and feel like we're still hungry. Whereas eating a bunch of kale, right, that's gonna really fill up our stomach. So that kind of brings us to calorie density as well. That topic is so important, as well as intuitive eating, and they really go hand in hand because when you eat low calorie density foods, you also are more likely to eat intuitively because you can listen to your body when you eat more natural foods. It's so much harder to listen to your body say, oh, okay, I'm full, when you're eating foods that are so far away from its natural form, so processed. And another reason it's so important to seek nutrients instead of avoiding calories is because when we seek high nutrient dense foods, we are eating more vitamins and minerals, which can prevent us from getting nutrient deficiencies. Those nutrient deficiencies are typically what lead us to those cravings for ice cream or salty foods like chips and fries. So I really want you to think about this next time you are reaching for a food. Think, is this in its natural form? Am I seeking nutrients right now? That's really the first thing that we can do to get in the right direction with our relationship with food. For those of you who might be avid calorie counters and have MyFitnessPal and all these things, yes, that works for weight loss temporarily, but what happens is we become robots, calorie counting robots. And then all food is a number, is a game, is a science, is crunching numbers. We don't want to take away all the pleasure away from food and eating, because pleasure is part of that eating experience, and that can help us eat properly. If we enjoy the foods we're eating, especially if they're healthy foods, it's going to encourage us to eat more healthy foods because we're feeling good when we're doing so. If we constantly are crunching numbers and trying to count our calories when we're eating, whatever foods we're eating are going to not be so good in the long run for us, because we're gonna get sick of them and associate them with calorie counting. Just remember, you can lose weight on any type of food. You can lose weight eating bacon, you can lose weight eating Oreos, but that doesn't mean it's healthy, right? So when we have that mindset, we have that mindset for just weight loss. That's the only intention behind that change in behavior. Whereas when we look for nutrients, seek those nutrients, we are trying to better our whole self, our whole health, instead of just looking at weight as being the most important thing to change. Weight loss, I always say, is a healthy side effect to healthy behavior change. If we eat healthier foods and we just make that a habit for life, that's just naturally gonna cause us to lose weight if we're overweight or need to lose weight. So if you're a calorie counter, your homework is to instead maybe just jot down what you're eating, not amounts, not the amount of calories, but write down what you're eating and how it makes you feel. If you're someone who has a hard time stopping and you overeat, look at the foods that you're eating. Ask yourself, are these in their whole form or are they processed? One way to check that out is to look at the label, the back of the package. If it's in a package, first of all, it's probably not very close to its natural form. So just to summarize, I want you guys to be seeking nutrients, seeking high nutrient dense foods, filling up on those, and having a positive mindset about it instead of a restrictive mindset about it. Having an abundant mindset that will allow for you to feel encouraged making healthy behavioral changes. I want you to listen to your body. Listen to how you feel when you're eating these foods, or especially after you eat these foods. How do you feel after eating a bag of chips versus after eating, a bowl of berries? A lot different, I'm assuming. How does your skin look? How do you feel? How does your body function in workouts afterwards? These are all things to keep in mind. A lot of what intuitive eating entails is just simply listening to our bodies and observing. Really, it's not all that much that we have to do besides listen. And when we listen, we can do what's best for our body and give it the best possible environment that we can. I really hope this helped you guys today. If you learned something new, please comment below. Give me a subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get those notifications for when I post a new video. And please share this with any friends who you think might benefit from this information. And remember to check out that description. I've got all my information there for nutrition services, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my poetry book link. And remember to fuel yourself, don't fool yourself. Have a great weekend, guys.